Hello, my friends. I don't know if you saw the fight, but I saw it. You know, Ronda Rousey got her clock cleaned by Holly Holm. Holly Holmes. Or I've been saying it for so long that I got tired of saying it. Ronda Rousey is one of the most hyped up fighters I've ever seen. Is she good? Sure. And on the ground, she's good. But as far as what they were saying, that she was the most dominant fighter on earth or athlete, like that, I think that's offensive. To You know, want to know who's the most dominant athlete on earth? The guy she was talking shit about because the guy wouldn't give her the time or day of day. Michael Phelps. She had a crush on him when they were both in the Olympic team, and he wasn't attracted to her or whatever. He didn't like her. I bet you it's because she doesn't have the best manners in the world, or she's just a hateful person or whatever. And I don't know what the big deal is with her. She's got a nasty personality. She's trashy. She's disrespectful. She's unsportsmanlike. I mean, the list just goes on and on. And you don't even say, don't even touch gloves with people, or whatever. What is that? So I'm very, very glad she got her ass handed to her, because I don't appreciate the cockiness. I've never liked unwarranted cockiness. Now, this is the nicest girl in the world. Nobody's perfect, but she's a nice girl, Holly Holmes. She even said it in the interviews that she was honored to fight Ronda Rousey. But Ronda Rousey come out and but treat her with disrespect and all this shit. Now, that's not because they're trying to sell the fight. That's just who Ronda Rousey is, and I think she needs to go learn some manners. And while she's at it, she might want to learn some boxing and some respect for boxing. It goes to show you that, and I said it. I saw. She kept fighting all this tomato cans. The last girl she fought, this girl, when she punched, she looked like a robot. It's like, oh my God, this girl can't punch. She was an absolute tomato can. The last girl she fought. And no disrespect to her, I'm sure she was doing the best she can. But as far as being at her level, no. The only people she fought that were at her level, or close to it, were Miesha Tate, which, by the way, Miesha Tate, she's got a lot of guts, but as far as the ground game and her punching power and her fight, her boxing game are lacking when compared to to real boxers. So or Muay Thai fighters, or strikers, or kickboxers. But Gina Carano gave her a run for her money, and if they have fought again, Gina Carano she's the thing. She's too hot, too beautiful, so she ended up where she needed to be, doing movies. So I think it was Gina Carano, or the one who went with the Expendables, but see, they didn't throw. They kept running from Cyborg Santos. And she's lucky she did not get in the ring with Cyborg Santos, and I hope she never does, for her own health. Cyborg Santos is a real, very, very dangerous fighter. She's a freak, and people say, all the steroids and all that shit. Look, man, they're all juiced up out there. At one time or the other, they get hurt in training, and they have to use something to be able to get back into training, and it's prescribed or whatever to be able to heal. It's a steroid, like when you get a steroid shot when you have something that's swollen, and they're anti-inflammatories, a lot of them, and they're considered performance enhancing because you can do more exercise without getting hurt. But if you get hurt, you have to take them to be able to fulfill the contract of fighting. But I said it many, many times. I've said it when I saw Ronda Rousey in her stand-up game. I said it. She's clumsy. She's slow. She has no angles, no head movements. Her footwork stinks. Absolutely stinks. Whoever this guy is, her trainer is. I saw them training. It's like, what the fuck is that? I've been a die-hard boxing fan since I was a little boy. I remember watching with my mother when we lived in the projects in Puerto Rico. We watched Cassius Clay, when he wasn't even Muhammad Ali, on regular TV with the rabbit ears. My family members, they all boxed, and so I grew up around it. And you had a beef, and they teach you, you had a beef with somebody, they put the gloves on, and say, hey, no, don't punch in bare hand. Here's the gloves, get it over with, get punching in. Then you crying, and then they'll teach you, okay, now you're done. You got the emotion out of it. This is how you do it. In basic, very basic boxing, moves, she has none. She throws, punches that are not straight. She doesn't, she doesn't catch. She doesn't shoot back. She absolutely leaves herself. She is a nightmare one of the worst defensive strikers I've ever seen, because she's not a striker. They hyped her up. They say, oh, this is the medalist or whatever from the judo and stuff. She's an amazing ground game person, but when it comes to stand-up, she had way too many holes. I saw that every time she fought. It's like, oh my God, this girl, if she ever faces a real fighter, she's going to get punched in the face hard. A real boxer, a real good boxer, a good boxing person, and or a striker, or somebody who knows holes. And this girl, and I've kept saying it, this girl's gonna knock her ass out with a kick to the face, and she's gonna pummel her. I mean, from the first exchange, she clocked her with an overright left that kind of like a hook, and she didn't even know what hit her. Ronda didn't even know what hit her, and she just kept, charging in. And one of the things charging in while you're punching. If you don't know how to do it, you're going to leave yourself open. And you got her chin up in the air. I mean, an absolute, amateur. I know girls in my boxing class. I don't box. I just hit the heavy bag just for fun. I know girls there that will clean her clock on a boxing match. And she tore her ass. Holly tore her ass up. Busted her up first round real quick, and fought smart fight. She did not get emotionally compromised, Holly, and she was there to do her job, and busted her up really good. And then when here's the thing people don't know, they think that the boxers, that we don't know how to handle ourselves in the inside when we get in a clinch. Really? Boxing has clinching in it, and you have to know what to do in the clinch, and you have to know how to get punches in there. One time when they went to the cage, and Ronda tried to manhandle this girl, do her judo throws and stuff. There's a bunch of stuff you can do to neutralize that stuff. And also, one of the easiest things is maneuver yourself in there and get uppercuts. That you do that in boxing all the time. You're going to clinch, and you have to maneuver your hands and your body to position yourself for leverage and get punches in. So you push with your shoulder. You lean on the other person to make them tired. Those are all boxing techniques. And people are wrong when they say, well, you can, once you get close, you're done. No, it's not. If good boxers, they know what to do when they're in the clinch. And she did all those things, and so she's also a kickboxer, Holly, and she's got amazing, Muay Thai, Thailandese boxing skills too. So I mean, it was so blatantly exposed that Ronda Rousey cannot, fight with a real stand-up fighter, a striker. That this girl even got, elbows in early in the fight, which is hard to do because the person's not, the other fighter's not really tired yet. And I know people are gonna say, oh, but that she looked tired and she looked like it wasn't in shape. Look, she could have been in all the shape she wanted, but she panicked. And when you panic, you start shooting adrenaline, you start pumping too hard, and you get tired. It's psychological. So that's what happened. She panicked because she had never been punched that fast and that hard in the face. She's never been in with a real boxer. This girl's 17-time world champion. This was no slouch, no tomato cans like she was used to fighting. Okay? So, I said it 1,000 times. This girl has not been tested. And when she does, she's going to get hurt. Look at what happened, how she got knocked out. That was a rookie, an absolute rookie mistake. She falls. She falls, okay? When she falls, she turns around into her opponent with her hands down. The number one thing they tell you, that teach you, is keep your hands up, protect yourself at all times. What are you doing turning around? This girl, she absolutely it had no business being in there with Holly Holm. It was just outclassed, completely outclassed. And now that lets you see, that shows you that marketing can hype up a fighter to a level that people think, oh my God, what a fighter, so dominant and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, because they chose her opponents carefully. Just like old Mayweather, he fought, I don't know how many tomato cans, this guy, that's another video, forget it, the best ever my ass, great defensive fighter, but, once he gets in there, if he had gotten in there with somebody in their prime, would have gotten hurt. And when he did, he lost. He lost to Zab Judah. They gave him that fight. And he lost to Castillo. Both fights he lost. So, and he got his ass whooped by Maidana. But, long live boxing. And this shows people out there that were saying, oh, boxing is dead. It's like, you don't understand, man. If you get in there with a really good boxer who knows how to defend takedowns and knows how to defend themselves in the ground, and Holly, who didn't, she wasn't going to fight her fight. She wasn't. When she took her to the ground, she tried to manhandle Holly on the floor. Holly wouldn't have any of that. She turned her and got out. Okay, so it's not like, oh, she got lucky. No, she didn't get lucky. She was a complete fighter, a real fighter. Okay, he made her look bad. It made Ronda Rousey look bad because Ronda Rousey ain't all that. Never was. Never was. She exposed her for what she is. She's just an average fighter. But she might be phenomenal in the ground. Yeah, but it's not just the ground game. A fight starts on your feet. People don't go, okay, let's fight and lay down on the floor. No, you first you start on the ground. You start on your feet. And then it could end up. But if you know how to defend the people taking you to the ground, in a competition, the striker is got an advantage on his feet. Especially if it's a well polished fighter like Holly Holm. So congratulations to Holly Holm, and maybe Ronda can go learn some manners now and learn some boxing. Boom.